出场要有阵势。
I'm Jen Nelson, and I'm the director of Kung Fu Panda 3. At the end of the second film, we had a little sneak peek of Po's father, Panda father, and so we began the idea of what this third film is about. In this film, Po is going to meet his panda father. He's going to meet other pandas for the very first time, and it's going to be a whole new world for him to explore. We have some great new characters in the movie. We have Mei Mei, who is a fun female panda who's going to be the very first female panda. We also have Kai, or Qiansha. He has the horns. He's really strong looking, but also because of the supernatural ability that he brings, that's going to make it a completely different villain than the other two that Po has faced before.
天煞回来了！
谁？
翡翠之刃，苦难之友，
夺面煞星。
啥？好吧，我以前跟乌龟是战友。
乌龟大师呀！
闭嘴！
Plus, we have a whole bunch of new panda characters. We have an entire village full. This is Po's reintroduction into the panda world. So we're gonna meet so many pandas, old, young, babies, you know, guys, girls, everything. During the second Kung Fu Panda, when we went for our research trip, we went to Qingchengshan, which is an amazing, beautiful, natural environment. And we went hiking through the mountains and saw just the color of the greenery and the way the mist played through the trees. We were so inspired by what we saw there that we decided this had to be where the panda's home would be based on. First time I met the artists and staff at Oriental DreamWorks, they were dressed in traditional Chinese clothing. One of the reasons why they did that was we were in the midst of designing Mei Mei. And her clothing, when we did a rough pass of her, she was very inaccurate because we were mixing dynasties. And so they said, this is an example of the Tang dynasty. This is this example of the Han dynasty. And so we, of course, took a lot of pictures and we asked them, okay, let's design this together. And now we have the attire for Mei Mei. It's very challenging to do a Kung Fu movie like this because you can't go to a Kung Fu master and say, could we just copy you doing these moves? We have a snake doing Kung Fu. We have animals doing Kung Fu. How can you copy the motions exactly? You have to invent them. So, of course, with our very talented animation staff, a lot of them do Kung Fu as well. We have a choreographer who's an animator. We talk to martial arts experts to get the theory of a lot of these movements correct. But it really comes down to what's fun to watch. How can we make these action scenes really fun as a set piece?
好极了！
真的吗？
才怪！重来！
We also have the little kids playing Ti Jianzi, and that was from a brainstorming session with the story artists when they came to visit with us in Glendale. This is what the kids could do, and Po is going to be able to learn how to do that, and that's really fun. Technology has moved on quite a bit since the first film, because, for instance, in the first film, we could only have the characters run a certain distance across a rooftop before we run out of set. In this film, we can make entire cities. And on top of that, there's whole areas of snow and ice all around this place. There's breath on the characters' mouths when they breathe because it's cold. There's impacts when characters are moving through snow. It could push the snow aside in a very natural manner. And we do that in order to immerse the viewer as deeply as possible into the experience of being in this place. Father and son element has always been a big thing for Po. He's had many fathers. He's had Mr. Ping, who is the goose father, who raised him. We have Shifu, who is like the father figure as his teacher. But of course, we've always wondered, who is his real panda father? Imagine what Po would be like if he hit 45 years of age and he didn't have the discipline of Kung Fu. That is who Li is like.
你是谁？
我在找我的儿子。
老爸。
傻孩子，你还站着干什么？快点过来帮帮你老爸！
我们怎么能确定你跟他就有血缘关系呢？
瞧啊！
I think for me, storyboarding has to begin with emotion. And I think that relationships between, say, a father and son are very universal. And the emotion of connecting with a long-lost father, that connection that Poe would have is an emotion that all of us could understand, the need to be close to family members. So that is something that I really thought of when I was drawing the storyboard.
我再来教你一招，华丽退场。
那是啥？
啊？什么？
这是跑哪儿去了？